What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 68 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. We're back again. Today we start on Aouar's profile because, as someone quite rightly pointed out last episode in the comments, after he complained about lack of first team football, the reason he was complaining is because he's currently listed as a key player. That is not the case, Aouar. You are a rotation option, my friend. You need to learn your place. So yeah, we'll update that. Today we've got games against Monaco, Benfica, and I think we'll do the one game after that. I want to just say a quick thank you to you guys for your support off the back of last episode. I talked a little bit about the fact, I'm going to be away in the upcoming kind of future, so I'm mass recording videos. As a result, I'm going to be focusing on getting episodes down to around 45 minutes. That's kind of going to be the ballpark aim. But yeah, I've got to record about 9 episodes ahead of schedule, just the way things work. So I can't be as reactive with the comments, but at the same time, I'll be checking them, I'll be writing them. I do find it interesting really reading your guys' different perspectives, and some of the decisions I make. Football Manager isn't a game with kind of right and wrong decisions. Certainly, there's decisions which maybe are, in hindsight, mistakes, but in the moment, it's very difficult to know if you're making the right or wrong decision. I do want to start this game against Monaco by making one minor change. I'm going to bring in Markovic. Lenglet is still unhappy, so we're not going to play him because he won't be playing at his best. And to be honest, Markovic looks really blooming good now, to the point where if the right offer came in for Lenglet, I'd probably let him go. But anyway, let's get into this. Of course, Monaco pipped us to second place in the league last year. This is the team that they've got. They've got a regen out on the right-hand side. He's 17 and he looks absolutely nutty. His name is Nasser Slimani. He looks good. I think it would be fair to say. He started for them. They've got Carrasco, Morilla and Pellegrini. They've got a really nice team. Like Morilla, we've all had encounters with him in FM. Obviously, Pellegrini as well is very, very good. And Carrasco, they've tempted back from China to play out on the left-hand side of midfield for them. They've then got Ziyech and Tielemans. I mean, this is just a very good team, isn't it? I can see why they finished as high as they did last year. We need to be playing at our best. Not the best reaction from our team talk. Can we rescue it with a bit of a passionate I have faith? Only Fakir's looking switched off right now. Of course he is. But yeah, big game to start today's episode. Of course, episode number 68. And, last episode was good. It was a recovery mission, and I feel like it was kind of mission accomplished. We know, though, going into this game, that if we were to lose this, Monaco would pull something like 14 points ahead of us. So we absolutely need to avoid defeat. Ideally, we need to win this if we want to win the league. And this is a concerning start because Pellegrini has left the woodwork shaking with that effort there. A thunderous effort from range. We're really not playing well to start this game. We're not having as much of the ball as I would like. Is it mad that I'm kind of tempted to switch to the 5-man midfield system to start with? I don't think it's that mad. I'm going to do it. It's a system change that we've done a lot. We did it towards the tail end of last season and it worked very well. We immediately have a highlight against us. This fills me with dread. Glick, free header. I mean, flappy hands time by Lopez in goal is somewhat concerning. Usually safe hands, a player we can just rely on in that kind of situation. He did not meet the ball with much confidence there. Fortunately, Glick's header went over and well. Now we look to attack Gabels. Flicks it over to Coman. Maybe he could cross it in here. Does. Ndombele, free header. He's got to hit the target. And he has failed miserably there for us. His header goes narrowly over the crossbar. I'm a little bit concerned about Romero being on a booking. What I'm not concerned about is the fact that Memphis Depay has just bent in a worldie before I could even comment on it. Free kick from a surprisingly wide angle and Livakovic for them. Well, he could not stop it finding the back of the net. Lovely free kick by Memphis there. Kind of a free kick position where perhaps the goalkeeper anticipates the cross coming in. He was a little bit greedy with it, but he was justified in his greed. And I was about to do a shout, but there's no point. Our half-time's coming up in just a second. But 1-0 at the break. It's not really been a classic performance. Romero, who of course we rotated in last game, and he did okay last game, hence me keeping him in. He is on a booking, so you know what? Where is Toussaint? Did I not put Toussaint on the bench? That's a mistake. What do I want to do here? Tell you what, we'll bring in Tolisso to play centre mid, and then we'll swap Mendy into left back for Romero. So Tolisso gets to play his preferred position, not necessarily his preferred role, but well, we just need to jiggle things around at the back a little bit. And I know last episode I jiggled things a bit around in a suboptimal way, as a few of you mentioned in the comments. Taken that on board, taken the learnings, and applied them here. Last game, we brought on Mendy, but we moved Tolisso to right back and then moved Eder Militao to centre mid. We've injured Sidibe at right back for them. I mean, 70 minutes gone, it's hardly been a classic with a load of chances, but ever since we made our tactical change, they have been very, very quiet. I'm going to bring in Trincao for Coman. I've got one last sub. I'm going to bring in Maulida, but to play as a striker, which might seem like a little bit of an unusual change, but he did play striker for Nice quite successfully, so we're going to give him a chance there rather than in the wide areas. And well, 9 minutes left, not far now away from what would be a massive win, but a highlight here does fill me with a little bit of dread. What can Trincao do for us? The Portuguese wizard threads in Maulida, fresh off the bench, spreads it wide to Memphis. Can he get his second of the game? Of course he can. And well, good to see two subs involved in the build-up play. Trincao on the right, Maulida accredited with the assist. And Depay with his second goal of the game, and this is perfect. This is what we needed sooner, isn't it? Memphis picks up the ball, and he just sweeps it home. The keeper's reflexes, highly questionable. We're not going to complain one little bit, however. It's not been a classic episode thus far with this game in terms of a game full of highlights, but, well, if we could get a third, the route would be very, very nice, wouldn't it, given how our season started. Monaco right up there in the league, looking very tough to beat, and we've come here and we've showed them up, and Memphis hits the woodwork. So close to the hat-trick. Can still do a shout of demanding more to the players. Fekir feels pressured, everyone else has reacted well. That is a common trend of our team talk so far. It's almost as if Fekir doesn't like us. Anyway, Jorge has played through Pellegrini here. With 6 minutes left, a goal would have left us with some nerves perhaps, but Lopez has been superb for us there in keeping that out. And that's going to be all she wrote. 2-0 is not an emphatic win, but I feel like against the calibre of opposition, albeit at home, we can be justifiably proud of our performance here. We've turned up, and I feel like we've turned a corner for this season. I hope that's the case. Really, really nice play. Beautiful finishes by Depay, ultimately the difference. And Monaco, who hadn't lost a game all year, have now lost to us 2-0, and we do close the gap on them to 8 points. There's still a massive margin to close down, but I mean, we've made a small step towards it perhaps right there. Apparently Gabels is doing well in training. I wish he'd start doing well on the pitch. I know there was a few comments saying, Jack, you really need a world-class striker. Can we... I feel like Gabels is world-class. Maybe not in his performances, but in what he's got here. And he's only 20, and I feel like eventually he's got to come good for us. He's just... I know there's a lack of yellow, but just look how many 15s and 14s there are across the board, and he's only 20 years old, and he only recently turned 20. I feel like it'd be harsh to replace him with someone else, and obviously Moise Kean is the backup striker anyway. I think there was one comment, I don't want to single anyone out, but someone said, you know, you could sell Keane and you could sell Gabels and get an investment in. Moise Kean is 20, Moise Kean is 21, Gabels is 20. I don't intend to sell them because I think they're two strikers we can really build around. I know their form's been a little bit lacking as of late. That is undeniable, but at the same time, they're so young that to flog them off after, 8 games of the season of starting a bit slowly, it would just be a little bit rash as far as I'm concerned. I'm someone who's quite patient with my players in Football Manager. I'll persist. I can be stubborn at times. Sometimes it's for the better and sometimes it's for the worse. Usually the latter of those two. Anyway, Auxerre, can you do us a favour against PSG? You're away from home. I'm not really expecting great things from you. What can you do, Auxerre? They lose 4-1. I don't know what I was expecting. Ferreira, how did you get on? You did okay. DJ has been finding goals for Brest. Look at that improvement. He could be a late bloomer. 3 goals in 8, a 7.05 average rating. Maybe Brest is where he's going to find his feet. You know, maybe this is where he you know, it matures. And because he's impressed me so much, I'm going to trigger the 3-year optional extension in his contract. Luka Jovic, how are you doing? Not as good as I would hope. I mean, considering you've just moved to Real Madrid in real life for 60 million, I was hoping you'd, you know, put in a little bit more of an effort in your loan and start to develop. Still time. Got to be patient. He's on loan for a reason. I mean, the reason is because we signed him on a free transfer and I can't fit him in the first team, but he's here for a reason. Anyway, we've got our second game of the Champions League group stage. It's against Benfica, who lost their first game, and considering we're going to their ground to play, there might be a little bit in the way of pressure on our shoulders. You can see a St. Maximin doing okay so far for Everton, done well in the Europa League, and also done, I want to say he's done well in the Premier League. That would probably be pushing it a little bit. But he has been getting goals in the continental competitions. That's really what we want to see, isn't it? Interesting to see here, apparently Fekir's current ability is now a star talent rather than being a leading player. I mean, he's still pretty blooming good, isn't he? Let's be honest. Even if he's unhappy, he's still pretty good. Tempted to start Maulida in the striking position for today's game. I do feel like we can use the Champions League to experiment a little. And it is something that I think is probably worth exploring the option of, is playing Maulida as the striker. If both Gabels and Keane are struggling, there's kind of no reason not to at least, you know, give it a trial run. But anyway, away from home against Benfica is not going to be easy. They are the favourites for this game. So, not a ton in the way of expectation. This is our kind of best 11, at least to start the year, what I perceived it to be. But Gabels hasn't wowed me so far. So we're going to make some changes. We're going to move in Maulida, I think. Yeah, we are. And then I feel like I have to play Memphis just because he's been doing so well. Fekir's been underwhelming, so we'll bring in Aouar. Do I want to make further changes here for the sake of fitness? I don't think I do. I feel like we're in an okay position. You can see a conditioner isn't really a concern. It's more about picking players off form. Wallace has been disappointing. Lenglet, still wanted, still unhappy. Given how Wallace and Lenglet have played, I'm really tempted to make a really ballsy call here. And I'm tempted to give Markovic and Kanate the nod. They're two exceptional centre-backs, let's be honest. For their ages especially. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give them both the nod. I think they're worth it. Two young players, ton of potential, good match opportunity for them. Edouard, who is at Celtic in real life, I want to say. Does he play for Celtic? He does. I assume he's still there right now, but he moved to Benfica, so we've got to keep an eye on him. The rest of their team, Pizzi is obviously plays for them in real life, very, very good player, going to be some experience for them. They've got one regen at right back. He looks very good, doesn't he? They signed him for £1.1 million from a Turkish Super League side. Our scouts apparently have already scouted him. I guess that was when they were looking at Benfica. He looks okay. I'm surprised they're starting him, but maybe we can exploit that out on our left-hand side. Maybe Depay can have a bit of a field day against him. But well, let's see how we get on in this game. We've changed things up a little bit, of course. Maulida going to lead the line. We've tried him out on the left, and he's not played that well to start the year. But he is also able to play more than adequately as a striker. The current role, perhaps not an ideal one for him, but I think he can make it work. And yeah, we're going to start the game with a controlled possession system, albeit obviously away from home here. I want to, you know, frustrate and silence the crowd perhaps as we have a chance here. Ndombele shoots at the back, falls back to him, shot goes wide. I'm sure he'll try and claim he intentionally played the 1-2 off Maulida there. I'm not buying it. Another chance here, Aouar to Ndombele at the edge of the box. Have a go, my friend. He hits it. I mean, has he got his shooting boots on today? I can't help but feel like he's got the wrong shoes on right now. Memphis whips it in. Headed over the crossbar. Not ideal. I mean, the good news is we're having plenty of chances. The bad news is we've yet to hit the target with any of the best opportunities, really. Another chance maybe to come from deep here, though. Aouar with it. Eder Militão's on the right. Elects to go to Memphis out on the left. You can see the overlap causing some problems. Tolisso still playing left back for us. I want to make it work. I know some people are like, Jack, why is he there? He's there because he's a blooming good player, and he's actually, I think he can be a good left back. I think he has the makings of a left back. He just needs to learn the trade. And, well, he wasn't there. I don't know if that falls on him, the blame. But Saigonov, I guess is how we'll go with it. He's got a nice goal, to be fair to him. I'm not familiar with this guy at all. He's Ukrainian, 23 years old. They sold him for 25 million. He looks good. I don't know if he looks £25 million good. But he has just scored a really nice finish. I guess Tolisso was caught a little out of position there, wasn't he, out on the break? Konate on a 6.2 apparently has taken the blame for that goal, I can only assume. And, well, they've had 2 shots and they've both flown in. Getting a weird sense of deja vu. We've been here before. A draw would probably be good enough as far as I'm concerned here in the Champions League. Of course, being a goal down, we are going to need to perhaps get a little bit more threatening going forward in the second half here. I'm almost tempted to go to the more direct attacking style of play. You know what? Let's go for it. Why not? Of course, we're now playing with our fullbacks on support in this system rather than wingbacks on support. So we'll keep an eye on that, see how that plays out here. Hopefully it gives us a little bit more solidity at the back, but at the same time the fullbacks hold their position a little more. I say this, Toliso's more ordering forward, gives it to Memphis. The ball is, well, dealt with, and now they look to maybe hit us in behind. Konate has pressed his man and then has just stepped off him and left us in all kinds of bother here. I mean, that is entirely on Konate. What has he done? Take him off. Get him out of my sight. Eder Militão's looking a bit tired. We'll bring in Romero as well. 15 minutes gone, 2 goals down, 2 mistakes. It was a bold call with the centre-backs. I just wanted to put some faith in the youngster Konate. It felt like a good opportunity to do so. As disappointing as it is to be losing here 2-0 against Benfica, it's not kind of end of the world just yet. And well, if we could get a goal there, it would have helped us on our way. Unfortunately, Depay's effort is saved. I believe we are being, as the kids call it, being FM'd. Or as I like to call it, getting caught out on the counter-attack and having sloppy defensive errors cost us big time. Anyway, let's try and demand a little bit more from the players here. Need a response. 15 minutes left. Maulida up top has not worked. I'm going to bring in Moise Kean. Let's see what he can do to end out this game. Only 10 minutes left, so not a load of time for him to have an impact. We'll demand more from the players, but nothing's happening. I mean, fair play to Benfica. They have stifled us. They've created the better chances on the break. And, I mean, I don't want to blame anyone, Konate. But I think I know who I want to blame. After we subbed him off, we didn't concede. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. Apparently we were impotent. I mean, that hurts. So our next game here is against Cannes. It's in the league, so we do need to bounce back quickly. Konate, I mean, never again. Not never again, but not for the foreseeable future again. Still going to take out Fekir and I think Aouar for this next game. Romero's going to be suspended, so we'll bring in Ganan on to be our backup defensive midfield option for this game against Cannes. It's in 2 days' time. Is player fitness going to be a concern? Maybe a tiny bit. Let's make sure that all our players here are rested up. Although I don't think Lopez needs to be rested, funnily enough. Goalkeeping position isn't usually the most physically demanding. I know I said I was only going to do 3 matches today, but given how things are going, I think we might get a 4th game in. We might. Sometimes the games are short in FM and sometimes they go on forever. It's kind of the nature of the beast. Although, have we got an international? We have got an international break coming up, so maybe we'll go up to the Lille game today. As I said, I've got to record a load of episodes in advance, so episodes probably won't be the hour-long fests that you're normally used to, which I will forever apologise for to those of you who love the long episodes where I say it's going to be a shorter episode today, and then it drags on and on and on. I mean, I hope it doesn't feel like it drags on, but I think, you know what, it's longer than I ever anticipated it to be. And that's what she said. Sochaux couldn't do us a favour. Fuchs was sent off for them, and Marilla grabbed a crucial goal that sees Monaco maintain their spot at the top of the league. Cannes are in 9th, so this is not going to be a freebie. Away from home as well. Does fill me with a few nerves, perhaps. I'm just wondering for this game if I want to play Mendy at left back. It's tricky because I want Tolisso to get more natural at left back, and he'll only get there by playing regular first team football, but at the same time, if it's coming at the cost of our performances, you know, I've got to reevaluate it. Wallace really hasn't played well. I'm gonna talk to you, Wallace. Warren, criticise. You've not been good enough, mate. You've not been good enough, and you know that deep down inside. So do you, Mal leader. Not training. Warm player, criticise recent form. You've been crap, son. Gabels, you too. Warn, criticise recent form. You've been crap. I just like the idea you've got all these French players coming in and it's just some English guy sat at a desk being like, you are bloody awful, mate. You too, Coman. Awful. Just all of yours. Tolisso. Disgraceful. Anyone else? Any more for any more? Mendy, you've not really played that much. Lenglet, I can't talk to him. He doesn't want to talk to me at the moment, to be fair to him. Trincao, interaction, warm player. He's not really played enough to criticise him. But Moise Keane, I feel like you've played enough to be criticised. You can't argue with it. Damn right you can't argue with it. At least he's improving in training. Let's praise him for his training. It's good cop, bad cop here with Moise Keane. I love that I hate him. Or do I hate that I love him? I don't know. This is getting philosophical and deep. Shall we get into the game? Probably for the best. Do I want to stick with this? I kind of want to take Tolisso out. Bring in Mendy at left back. Do I want to play Fekir? He's unhappy. To be fair, he has actually played quite well. So we'll give him the nod. I mean, this team on paper should be doing absolute work. Let's see if it can do work today, shall we? We're taking on Cannes. We're away from home for it. So this ain't going to be easy. But we found some form in the league, thankfully. Granted, it hasn't really reared its head much against Benfica in that last game. But we've looked okay here against Cannes. Well, not against Cannes, but against other teams. Now let's see how we look against Cannes. I'm hoping that we can just make things work here. That would be ideal. A goal in the first minute would be good as the highlight starts in the 50th minute. Maulida, inside to Fekir, brings it forward. Have a go. Have a go. Keeper saves it. Samba parries it wide for a corner. I was ready to start sambering there, but unfortunately the keeper has denied us. Ball whipped in though. Wallace, free header just wide. That was a really good opportunity. Free header at the back post. Unfortunately, just hasn't really worked out for us. 7 minutes gone here, and another highlight. It's all very well us having these highlights in our half, but we actually need to score. We need to make them count for something. Two-side here to Maulida. Mendy on his left, goes on his own. It's an ambitious effort, maybe slightly greedy, some would say. But yeah, the shot has flown over the bar there. 20 minutes gone. Do I want to do a shout? You know what? I do want to do a shout. Demand more. Markovic and Wallace on bookings scares me. Both centre-backs on bookings after 30 minutes is not a good look. Bamu tries to get the ball clear. Don't do anything silly. He's done something silly. Gual is clean through. Crosses it into nobody though. And now a rare chance maybe for us to exploit some space in behind them. They brought the ball forward, committed a few men into the attack. Coman is now going to bring it forward. And there is intention, I think, to punish him behind. Ndombele with it. Goes to Fekir. Runs, hits it straight into Samba's hands. We've had 12 shots, but most of them have been from range. Another chance maybe here. Militao whips it in. It's cleared away. Ndombele to Maulida. Can he score it? He can't. He blazes it over the bar. Fekir now with a chance from a set piece. It's deflected in. It's not pretty. It's not the beautiful game on show here. I'm trying to remember what the French word for ugly is, but I don't know it. C'était non beau. It was not beautiful. Or it is not beautiful. I don't know. I didn't do very well at French at school. I know we have some French viewers, so you've probably, at this point, if you've got this far into the series, you've grown resilient to my terrible pronunciations. So, I mean, anyone else probably isn't that bothered by them. They probably thought, wow, Jack, you sounded really French as you said, c'était très beau. Oh, wait, no, that means it was very beautiful. Let's stop. Let's stop. Hammer time. No hammer time. Just goal time would be good, really, wouldn't it? Fekir's looking a bit tired. Maulida's been awful. I'm a little bit scared about Markovic tiring and being on a booking, so I'm going to bring in Lenglet for him. Maulida's been awful. I'm going to bring in Moise Kean to play out on the left-hand side rather than Depay, I think, for this. Let's see what he can do. 20 minutes to have an impact for the young Italian. The Italian stallion, former record transfer. Fekir's picked up a knock, or if he hasn't picked up a knock, he's just decided to die on 50% condition. So, in order to just play things safe, I think we'll sub him off there. What can we make happen here? Awar can't beat the first man with the cross. It's the 85th minute. Is it bad that I'm scared of the counter-attack? Wallace nods it up to Coman. Another goal here would definitely relieve me a little bit of some pressure, and well, we've got it. Gabel's nice finish. More finishes like that, please, Willem. That's what I'd like to see. 2-0. Nice turnaround in the league is going to continue. Is that 5 wins in a row? 5 on the bounce. Considering we lost 3 on the bounce, I feel like that is a good way to mark a degree of recovery. Of course, the result against Benfica, not exactly ideal. I'm not going to pretend I'm happy about that, because I'm really not. But in the grand scheme of things, I've got to show a degree of happiness about how things are going, because I was genuinely worried at the end of kind of 2 episodes ago. I thought, this might be the end of Lyon Live. I mean, it still could be. Let's not talk too soon, but it does feel like the ship has been steadied. Just now need to navigate around any more icebergs that could be on the horizon to ensure that we can keep this little run of form going. Cam playing it around at the back here. Debassi with it. Now with Ninga. Peters. I mean, if they score now, suddenly this relaxation that I was feeling is going to vanish. I mean, Lopez, it's not the best goalkeeping. It's not textbook. And it has gone out for a corner, but I hope that was the chance. I hope that was the highlight, and this is going to just amount to nothing. It's going to be Peters to whip in the ball here. Back post. Free header. They get a goal. At what point do I panic? I don't really want to change anything because they've not created that much. They've brought on a promising centre-back. He's very good at 17. Get a scout report on him. Anyway, we're going to win this. It's going to be 2-1. It's not pretty. Wallace heads over again. I just need to get a soundbite recorded of me saying Wallace heads it over. Really, don't I? It happens so often, it feels like. But anyway, this is going to finish here 2-1. I hope. Please. Referee. Maybe? I love Coman there, by the way. Heads it out, raises his hand like, referee, it's ours. It's ours. It's like, mate, there was no one around you. You're not fooling anyone, Kingsley. 2-1 it's going to finish, though. We will definitely take that. Not an easy run of games that we've been on, but I feel like there's a recovery of sorts. Still trailing the likes of Monaco and PSG. But things are getting better. Fekir's out for 3 to 4 days with a twisted knee. We've now got an international break, which is good news. I want to tell a team meeting and just say to the players I'm pleased with how we've been doing. Good upsurge in form. Let's keep it going. Look at that. Morale is through the roof. Fakir's still a moody bum. But besides him, everyone else is loving it. So yeah, we've got an international break here. We'll just continue through it a little bit. And then, of course, next episode we will have the game against Lille, who are a team who did really well last year. They could do us a favour here against PSG. Lille, you're at home for it. I believe in you. Get us a result against PSG. Please. They've not played. That's anticlimactic, isn't it? Jovic still not doing great for Sevilla. Maxi, how have you been playing? You've been playing a teeny tiny bit, a bit in the Champions League as well for Bordeaux, which is good. Not performing well when he's been there, but that's, I mean, par for the cause. At least he's playing. Marin still struggling really to get any meaningful first team football anywhere, which is a shame. Lille, do us a favour. Come on. I believe in you, Lille. God damn it. It's like PSG are scraping through a lot of these games by just one goal. Could do with them slipping up like they did last year. Was it last year or the year that we won the league? Lenglet is putting a come get me please plea to Jurgen Klopp. You what, sunshine? Mate, you're valued at 70 million. Until we get an offer in that region, you ain't going anywhere. I mean, the thing is, he's unhappy and wanting a move in October, but no one wants him. So where does he think the bid's going to come from? Like, he's going to be here at least until January. You could at least pretend to be happy, Lenglet. Pretend to be content with your, you know, current contract. It would be appreciated. Perhaps expecting a little too much from him. But yeah, international break. It's always interesting, these. You never really know what's going to pop up in them. It's kind of the beauty with Lyon Live, I guess. You see all the bits that I kind of scan over. I will say, I've talked about this before, with Lyon Live, I do play the game slightly differently to how I'd play in my own time. Because naturally, when I play FM in my own time, I'm quite methodical. I'm very, very slow in what I do, but I'll kind of be multitasking on my PC. You know, I'll have some YouTube up and then just be like, oh, I'll just see what players are available now. Whereas I don't tend to do quite so much of that. Just because, I don't know, I feel like it already takes us around, usually about 20 to 25 episodes to finish a season here. And if I was to like slow things down even more, we'd be talking maybe getting for a season once every other month. Which isn't really ideal. Coman's picked up an injury, 7 to 9 days out. I guess it could be worse. Aouar's done well in training. We'll praise him. Good job, Aouar. More of the same, please. How do you compare to Fakir? Because Fakir's been on the decline and you're on the up. Still a little way off Fakir, but not massively. Not like impossibly so. There's a reason why their values are fairly comparable. Anyway, we've got this next game against Lille to come. Lille, of course, a team who have been a bit weird in this save. They've kind of had moments of real success and then really struggled other times. Which I guess is how they've been in real life. If I'm not mistaken, they qualified for the Champions League this year with Monaco kind of slipping up. They were the team to capitalise. I think they may have even come second in the league, which is really, really impressive. They've got a good team. If we just look at their history. Last year they finished 10th. The year before that they finished 3rd. They like to yo-yo. I say that. Right now they're in 11th, so I guess they're kind of similar to where they were last year. So maybe they finish yo-yoing. Maybe they're just yo-ing at this point. That is entirely possible. Anyway, I think we'll wrap things up here. The little game is 5 days away. We'll come back for it next time. I will say massive thank you to you guys for watching. Good little turnaround, really. Freitas still only playing for Malaga's youth team, but at least he's developing. But no, good results today, other than the Benfica one. But I can look beyond that. Particularly the win against Monaco is absolutely massive. Obviously, the games we've got coming up, we've got Lille, Valencia, and Metz. So that Valencia game is going to be kind of big for us the way that things are going. A win against them would really spice up the league and this group to a point where after 3 games, there could very realistically be 3 sides all tied on 6 points. But that relies on us doing a job over Valencia, and that's not going to be easy. That'll be the challenge for next time, I guess. I do hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. If you have, as always, do drop a like on it. Do appreciate you guys watching, as always. And, well, that is going to be all from me today. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.